Hi, this is Mrs. Slater, and today we're going to have applications to systems with 3 variables. In this first example, you can look at each sentence and be able to come up with an equation for each of them. So you can read that the sum of the first 3 numbers is 57. So label x is going to be our first number, y is going to be our second number, and z is going to be our third number. And that will help you organize your thoughts. Okay, so the sum of the 3 numbers is 57. So x plus y plus z equals 57. The next sentence, it says the second, which is y, is 3 more than the first. So that would be x plus 3. And then the last sentence, it is saying the third is, so that would be z is 6 more than the first. Okay, so what we're going to do now is go ahead and push pause and get out your calculator. And we're going to set it up as a matrix. A matrix would look something like this when you are writing it down. Okay, so we have the bars, and then every coefficient in front, and then the 57 we will list. So we want all of our x's in this row, all of our y's, and all of our z's, and all of our numbers. So as you can see in the second one, it's not quite all matched up. So we're going to have to move the x to the left, and then the y. There is no z, so we'll have to put a placer with 0, and then equals 3. So that's creating a negative 1, 1, 0, and 3. Now for the next one, we need to get x over again, negative x, and then plus 0y plus 1z equals 6. And then that into the matrix is negative 1, 0, 1, and 6. Okay, so go ahead and push pause and put that into the calculator. Okay, so let's practice the steps. First you're going to go to second matrix, and then go to edit. And it's still a 3 by 4. So we're going to keep that matrix A, push enter, and put our numbers in right over the top. So I'm going to push 1, enter, 1, enter, 1, enter, and then the last one's going to have the 57. And then on the second row, we have negative 1, 1, 0, and 3. And on the last row, we have negative 1, 0, 1, and 6. Push enter and quit. Now we're going to go back into matrix and go to math, enter, and that is not what I wanted it to do. So I'm going to go back into matrix, math, and I have to go to RREF, and there we go. Let me get rid of the error from before, delete, and now we can go back into matrix and find the name A to go in there. Push enter, and our answer appears. So what we would write down then is 16, 19, and 22. Okay, now let's check our answer. The sum of the 3 numbers is 57. Yes, it is. The second is 3 more than the first. Yes, it is. And the third is 6 more than the first. And that is also true. So we did a good job. Let's go on to the next one. Okay, this one is in professional hockey. A win counts as 2 points, a tie is 1, and a loss is 0. So let's think about what that information is going to give us. Okay, so I'm going to write down that information on the side. We'll have W equal 2 points. A tie is going to be equal to 1 point. And a loss is going to be 0 points. Now if the team has played 62 games total, that means they either had to win, tie, or loss. So the first equation based off the 62 games is wins plus ties plus losses will be a total of 62 games. Now the 83 points is going to give us our next equation. because we know that each win is 2 points, and each tie is 1 point, and each loss is 0 points, that creates our next sentence. And the last one, it says there were 7 more losses than ties. So we can write that as 7 plus T equals L. Now, if that's not really making sense to you, what I like to do when I look at this time problem is actually plug in numbers. So what if we had 4 ties, and how many losses would that give you? 11. So look back up to this sentence. Are there 7 more losses than ties? Yes. So I know that I wrote that correctly. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and get rid of that because that's just a little side note. Now that we have our 3 equations, we'll be able to set it up into a matrix. Okay, so here's our matrix: 1, 1, 1, 62, 2, 1, 0, 83, and we'll have to move the L over and the 7 over. So what will that look like? Negative, so there's 0W, there is plus 1T, and then minus L equals a negative 7. So it would be 0, 1, negative 1, negative 7. So go ahead and push pause and plug it into your calculator. And your final answer is going to be the ordered triple of wins. There's going to be 37. Ties, there'll be 9. Losses, there'll be 16. Okay, and that would be your ordered triple. So it looks like that, and that is a 9. Okay, please practice. Don't just write down that answer and go on to the next one. Push pause, practice, and solve. Alright, example number 3. Pat picked strawberries on 3 days. He picked a total of 87 quarts. On Tuesday, he picked 15 quarts more than on Monday. On Wednesday, he picked 3 quarts fewer than on Tuesday. How many quarts did he pick each day? So let's first organize with putting that we have Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, and we will use M, T, and W just for the confusion part of it. And then if it says we had 87 quarts, that means Monday plus Tuesday plus Wednesday is going to equal 87. And then it says on Tuesday he picked, so there's our equal part, 15 more than Monday. And then it says Wednesday, so write it like this: Wednesday will be 3 fewer than Tuesday. Okay, in the matrix, the first one's easy, 1, 1, 1, 87. The next two, we're going to have to move the M over to the other side, so that's going to give us a negative N, or negative 1, 1, 0 for Wednesday, and 15 for the number. And then again, T is going to have to move over, so that's giving us 0 for M, negative 1 for T, 1 for W, and negative 3 for the number. Plug that in your calculator, and you should get this final answer of, on Monday, 20 quarts, on Tuesday, 35 quarts, and on Wednesday, 32 quarts. So practice in the calculator, make sure you're getting the information correct. And then finally, these are just hints for the lesson tomorrow, or the assignment for tomorrow. For 5 and 7, it talks about the angles of a triangle. So you've already had geometry, and you probably already know that they add up to 180 degrees. So one of your first things, or your first steps, are that the 3 angles are going to add to 180. And it doesn't come out and say it, because they know that you have geometry already. And then, so that's the hint for 5 and 7. For 15, there's going to be 4 variables with 4 equations. Don't let that alarm you. It just means that when you put it into the matrix, there's going to be like 1, 1, 1, 1, and maybe a 5 or something like that. There actually is going to be 4 different rows and 5 columns. So when you fill that out, and then you go to matrix, you're just going to put in a 4 by 5 instead of the ones you've been doing already, which is a 3 by 4. Okay, that's it for today.